Has the new UK variant entered India? This is the million-dollar question that health authorities are trying to answer at the earliest. You're watching TV9 Digital. I am Adarsh Wepachedu, and today I will be telling you how India is racing to test UK returnees. Let me first tell you one thing. The new UK variant emerged sometime in September and it was identified only recently. And from September to the day India banned flights from UK, several people would have returned to India from the country. While initially there were 20 passengers who returned to India from UK who tested positive, this number is fast increasing. Let me now tell you how many UK returnees have tested positive for COVID-19 in various states. Let's start with the latest. 8 UK returnees have tested positive for COVID-19 upon their arrival in Amritsar in the last flight from London. The passengers have been sent for isolation in a hospital. Additionally, 2 returnees from UK tested positive for COVID-19 in Bengaluru. Their samples are undergoing further tests to determine if it's the new variant that they have contracted. At least 2 people tested positive for COVID-19 in Kolkata after returning from UK. 1 person has tested positive for COVID-19 out of 24 passengers who returned from the UK to Tamil Nadu. 6 passengers at Delhi airport coming in from the United Kingdom were also found positive for COVID-19. 4 passengers, including a British national who arrived at Ahmedabad on Tuesday morning by an Air India flight from London, tested positive for COVID-19. The number of the travellers who landed in Mumbai from the UK with suspected infection of the variant COVID has risen to 15. All in all, the number of COVID positive passengers returning from UK to various parts of the country is only set to increase. So what is the government and Ministry of Health doing to deal with the situation? What kind of preparations are in place? Let me tell you. If a person returning from UK tests positive for COVID-19, his or her sample will be retested through spike gene-based RT-PCR test to find out if it's a new variant. Separate isolation facilities are being set up for people who test positive. The government will conduct genome sequencing of all COVID-19 positive passengers arriving from the UK between Monday and Wednesday to determine whether they have been infected by the new strain of the virus found there. Those whose samples indicate the presence of the new variant of coronavirus after the genomic sequencing will continue to remain in the separate isolation unit. Necessary treatment will be provided as per existing protocol and the patient will be tested once again on the 14th day. In case the sample is found positive on the 14th day, another sample may be taken until 2 consecutive samples taken 24 hours apart test negative. The Health Ministry issued detailed standard procedures for epidemiological surveillance and response with respect to the new UK variant. The government has also initiated a massive exercise to track all UK passengers who have arrived in India in the past 4 weeks. Those who have returned to India from UK between 25th November 2020 and 23rd December 2020 will be asked to self-monitor their health and get tested using RT-PCR kits if they develop symptoms. All contacts of those travellers who arrived at various airports on December 21st to 23rd, 2020 and tested positive would be subjected to institutional quarantine in separate quarantine centres without any exception. Contacts of the suspected case will also include co-passengers seated in the same row, 3 rows in front and 3 rows behind, along with identified cabin crew. Additionally, all the community contacts of those travellers who test positive would be subjected to institutional quarantine in separate quarantine centres and would be tested between the 5th and 10th day as per current ICMR guidelines using RT-PCR kits. So that's what the government is up to at this point in time to ensure that the new variant, in case if it is found in the passengers who've returned from UK, is tested and weeded out at the earliest. Let us know in the comment section below as to what you think of the steps and the measures that the Union Government and the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare is taking on ground to deal with this situation. If you like the content that we've presented to you, make sure you like and share this video, and yes, subscribe to TV9 Digital on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. Many thanks for joining us.